Assalamualaikum and hi. In this video, I'm going to go through with you the solution for exercise number 11, where specifically we're going to look into how to create different types of method. So we have two questions here, and the nature of the questions are the same, where you are asked to modify the code so that you will add some specific methods within the Java programs given. So for questions 11.1, you're given a simple code like this. And based on the questions, you're required to create two methods. So the first method is to display default message. That's the name of the method, while the second method is to generate a greeting. If you go through the questions, then you know that for the first method, it's a method that without parameter and does not return any value. Whereas for the second method is the methods that include one parameter of type string, and at the same time is a return type method where you're going to return a greeting message as a string. So I'm going to create the first method, which is outside of the main methods here. I'm going to start with the keywords because since we're using NetBeans, so we need to have that keywords here, which is private, static, okay. Private means the functions or the method is only accessible within this program itself. And then because it is the first method is a non-return type method, so I'm going to use the keyword void here. And the name of the method is actually display default message. And I'm going to open and close brace. And because it's a method without any parameter, so I just leave the parenthesis empty. And I have the open and close brace here, and anything that I'm going to do will be within this method. So it does not take any parameters, does not return any value. So it's indicate from here the void keyword again, and also the parenthesis is actually empty. Then I just simply need to copy this one and paste it here. In fact, I just need to cut and paste, right? Because I'm going to call the method later on within the main methods. So this is my first method. Okay, straightforward here. Whereas for the second method is generate greeting, right? So I'm just going to copy this one. I'll start with private and static as well. And because this is a method that return a value, and if we look back into the instruction, it says return a greeting message as a string. So we need to write here string, then follow with the name of the method and open and close brace here. Then we have the curly braces here, okay? So because this is a method which takes one parameter of type string, in this case is the person name, so I'm going to put the parameter here within the parenthesis here, string. Let's say I can put name, okay? Oh, well, I can put name, yeah, no problem at all. And it will print hello, my name, right? This is what it says. It will return a greeting message as a string. So instead of printing, I can simply do return, okay? And this is what I'm going to have here, okay? Right. And my name here, I just need to change it to name because as you can see here in my parameter, this is name. So I need to put the name here as well. So this is my second method where I have a method with the name generate greeting. There's a parameter involved here and it returns a value which is the string here based on the parameter or the arguments later on. And this is the data type of the, if you like, the message that's going to return. So that's in the form of string. Now I'm going to show you how I can actually call this method within the main method here. I will need to remove this one as well because I do no longer need this. And now I'm going to call the method where I'm going to call the first method that will be display default message. Okay, just going to call this. And as for the second method here will be generate greeting. And I'm just gonna pass an argument here. In this case will be my name because I've already declared my name here. Now, because it returns a value in the form of string, I will need to assign that to a string that I would like to have. So for example, in this case, I will just say greeting message equal to, okay. And I'm just gonna print out the message, okay. So greeting message. So if you run this, you should be able to get the exact result as you have previously. So this is the output that I have previously when I run the code without the method. So if I run this, my method here, as you can see, I get exactly the same result. The only difference is now I have two methods here as per the requirement of the exercise. Now let's move on to 11.2 here. 11.2 is required to create only one method. That method is supposed to take an integer at its parameter and return the factorial of that number. So you can see the what we call that the program given here. Again, what you need to do is you just need to kind of like modify the code so that you put some of it into the method that you are going to create. So again, we're going to start with private static, and as per the requirement, there's a return type method. It's going to return the factorial of that number. So we know that for that factorial, data type long. So here I'm going to put long here, and then I'm going to follow up that with the name of the method as per the requirement will be calculate factorial. Then I will need to add in the parameter. So what will be the parameter? If we look back into the questions, the parameter should be an integer, right? An integer. So here I'm going to put integer number, okay? Now it's going to return, so for this method, it's going to return factorial, okay, as per the requirement again. What we need to do basically is we just need to copy this for loop here, because this is the one that we use to calculate the factorial. We just need to copy this and then paste it here, right? And of course, I will need to declare the factorial as well. So I'm going to cut and paste this here. Okay. So this is what I have. I have a method with the name calculate factorial. There's a long here which indicates the data type of the value returned by that method, and I have a parameter integer number. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I can actually call this method. So here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another what we call the variables here, long factorial, right? Okay, or you can change it to my factorial, okay, to show the differences. Equal to, I'm going to call this method calculate factorial here, okay. And within here, I'm just going to pass the number, which is this integer number here. And of course, I will still need to print the result. But when I print the result, I will need to use my factorial, right? Rather than factorial, because this is new variables that I have declared, right? This is my factorial, okay? So we can see here that I remain this integer number equal to 5. I call the method, I pass the argument of that numbers into the parameter which I've created here. And then for the return value, I assign it to a new variable, my factorial. So when I print out the result, I would just use my factorial. So now if we run this, you should be able to see here the factorial of 5 is 120. So hopefully through this simple exercise, you are able to understand better related to the different types of methods, whether it's return type, non-return type, and also the method with and also without parameters. Thank you very much.